So as we approach the NBA trade deadline, naturally you're going to hear trade rumors pick up every day that we get closer to February 9th, and it's important to note that a lot of these trade rumors really don't amount to much of anything. Like really, when you look back at the history of all trade rumors leading up to the trade deadline, or even in the offseason, most of them ended up not coming to fruition. But regardless, it makes for fun debates, clickbaity headlines, and raging fans who either agree or disagree with the trade being proposed. But despite all of that, one that has been going around the rumor mill in the last 24 hours or so, according to Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports, is that there are rumblings that the Chicago Bulls are seeking 2 first-round picks if they were to move Alex Caruso in a trade, which is a little odd as it was just a couple of weeks ago from the Bulls beat writers that Caruso was really being considered as untouchable in the trade market. But again, these are just rumors, and if anything, this is maybe the Bulls just establishing their asking price for Caruso, considering they know that there would be a lot of interest in him, and hey, if you can get a big haul for him, then why not? But regardless, I saw quite the uproar from a lot of Bulls fans on Twitter on really both sides of the spectrum, where they felt the Bulls should absolutely trade Caruso for 2 first-round picks if that's what they could actually get for him, while others are saying the front office would be out of their minds to trade that type of haul for Alex Caruso, who is one of their better players in terms of the box plus minus, and by far and away their best defender. So let's talk about it, because it is one of the more interesting and intriguing trade rumors that I've seen thus far. Nothing like the garbage we've seen where some are suggesting that the Bulls should trade Zach Lavine for Russell Westbrook and 2 first-rounders, which, by the way, that right there should give you an indication of just how bad of a return that would be for the Bulls if their asking price is 2 first-round picks for Alex Caruso. I love Caruso, and I'll talk about his overall impact here in a little bit, but he's not on Zach Lavine's level, so the asking price for Lavine would be considerably more, even despite the fact that he's on a max contract, and the move would help shed some salary. But anyway, 2 first-round picks for Caruso is enticing. Now, I want to be clear, I don't think the Bulls would actually be able to get that much for Caruso when you consider the fact that all-star level players are traded for just slightly more than that. But here's the thing, Alex Caruso, for all intents and purposes, is on a very team-friendly deal. Some people thought it was an overpay when the Bulls first signed him, but a 4-year, $37 million contract. He'll have 2 years left on his deal after this season, making around $9.5 million annually, and because he's on such a cheap contract, it makes trading for him a lot easier because you can easily match salaries with a lot of players throughout the league, and the fact that there are a lot of teams out there in need of perimeter defenders, and defense-minded first players are not easy to find in today's NBA. Now, you look at AC's numbers and you can see his offensive production has dipped. He's not scoring the ball as much, but he's actually been more efficient with his overall shooting, which is surprising because I feel like Caruso has been missing a lot of shots this year, but his overall volume has dipped, averaging over 6 shots per game last season compared to 4 this season. But offense is not part of Caruso's game. He'll get you some points here and there, he'll have some great dunks, of course, he'll hustle on that end of the floor, and is decent enough of a playmaker, but where Caruso excels and his value and impact resides is in his defense, which I know is obvious, I'm not saying anything revolutionary here, but what people might not know is that Alex Caruso is having by far his best defensive season of his career. He's currently 6th in the league in steals, but only averaging 24 minutes per game. So because of that, he's actually leading the league in steals per 36 minutes and per 100 possessions, and leads the league in overall steal percentage. In addition to that, he's 2nd in the entire NBA in defensive blocks plus minus, which I cannot stress enough how impressive that is when you consider the Bulls as a team who haven't played that well this season and have a low overall net rating, just how hard it is to have a positive box plus minus even if you're an incredible defender. When your team is losing, guys on the court aren't competing and playing defense, that affects your overall box plus minus rating negatively. And yet Caruso is still 2nd in the entire league in this category despite coming off the bench and only playing 24 minutes per game. That's insane. He's also 18th in the league in defensive rating. I mean, at the rate Caruso is going, he's going to get selected to his first all-defensive team. He likely would have been selected last season had he not gotten injured and only played 41 games. So all of this, the asking price for the Bulls should be high. I'm sure a lot of rival execs and non-Bulls fans will scoff at the mere fact that the Bulls would want 2 first-round picks for Alex Caruso, but his impact is undeniable, and the Bulls shouldn't just be willing to give him up for nothing. If you're going to sell high, and Caruso has a very high trade value right now, especially for teams that are looking to compete now and in need of more defense. And yes, 2 first-round picks is a steep asking price for Alex Caruso when you consider the Bulls sent 2 first-round picks and Wendell Carter Jr. to the Magic for Nikola Vucevic, who was an all-star at the time, putting up over 25 and 12. But the asking price should be steep. It's not like the Bulls are wanting to get rid of Caruso. He provides an immense amount of value to this team, and without Caruso, the Bulls defense would be absolute trash. And he's on a very team-friendly contract. The Bulls have all the leverage in the world here. Teams might say, that's too steep for Alex Caruso. Cool. You can't have him. That's what we want if you really want the guy. It's not like this is a Jay Crowder situation or say a Ben Simmons situation where a player's disgruntled and refusing to play and they're on a less desirable contract for a team to take on, which would give the Bulls very little leverage if they were looking to move Caruso as soon as possible. No, they want to keep the guy, but every player has a price that's too good to pass up. And for Alex Caruso, 2 first-round picks, if some team is willing to send the Bulls 2 first-round picks, yeah, that's a price that's too good to pass up. I know some might disagree with that, but if some team is willing to offer the Bulls 2 picks in exchange for Alex Caruso, I feel like you have to do it. And this is coming from someone who loves Alex Caruso and what he brings to the group. He's one of my favorite players that actually seems to give a damn when he's out there on the court. But for a team that has little draft capital for the foreseeable future to get 2 first-round picks, but still keeping some of your best players, yeah, it's too good to pass up. Granted, I say that, but obviously it depends on the actual picks. Like the picks, if they're happening sooner, are much more valuable if the Bulls are needing to add younger talent now. Also, it depends on the protection of the picks. If we're talking unprotected picks, yeah, no question, you make that trade in a heartbeat. If they're lottery protected, not as enticing to be honest, since we've been holding to Portland's lottery pick for a while now, and it's appearing like it's not going to convey this season either. I would say anything that was top 5 protected or better would be enough. 2 first-round picks, top 5 protected for Alex Caruso, yeah, you have to do it. Some of it does depend on the team as well, as according to Casey Johnson, 2 teams have shown interest in making a trade for Caruso, and those are the New York Knicks and the Golden State Warriors. If it's the Knicks, much higher likelihood those picks are going to be good, because the Knicks, even when they have some decent seasons here and there, always find a way back to the bottom of the East. The Warriors, on the other hand, more likely to be late first rounders, although who knows, it's not like the Warriors are playing incredible basketball right now and are sitting at 500, so their picks could be valuable too depending on the season. Anyway, this is all just rumor and speculation, although given Casey Johnson has reported on this and the interest in Caruso, also the fact that Jake Fisher and Mark Stein are both pretty credible sources in the NBA, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some truth to it, and it makes sense why the Bulls would try and play hardball here if teams are actually wanting Caruso, because they can. They have the leverage. There is no urgency in trading Caruso away if you're the Bulls. You guys let me know what your thoughts are though. Do you think 2 first-round picks for Caruso is worth it if you're the Bulls? Let me know in the comments. I'll also have some more trade-related content as we get closer to the deadline, as I'm sure rumors are going to continue heating up, and hopefully we actually have some real trades being made. But in the meantime, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.